Modern metabolic health management usually relies on a rigid spreadsheet approach. People obsessively weigh their portions, calculate macronutrients, and restrict their overall calorie intake to stave off conditions like diabetes. But tracking the total volume of food ignores an equally critical variable in human digestion. It relies on the assumption that the body processes food the same way, regardless of the sequence in which it arrives. In a 2021 clinical study by Smith and colleagues, researchers tested this assumption by feeding subjects the exact same meal. Both groups consumed the identical weight of carbohydrates and the exact same portion of vegetables. This graph compares their resulting blood sugar curves over time. One subject experiences a rapid, high-peaking glucose spike, but the other line shows a gentle, manageable wave, even though both subjects started from the exact same baseline. The researchers changed only a single parameter to produce that stable curve. The subject with the manageable blood sugar simply ate the fiber portion of their meal first. The timing of ingestion dictates the body's processing mechanics. By rearranging the order of the food, the exact same meal produces a completely different biological outcome. To understand why this happens, we have to look inside the stomach, the first major mechanical checkpoint of the digestive tract. When dietary fiber drops into an empty stomach, it resists rapid breakdown, bypassing the quick dissolution that simple carbohydrates go through. Instead, the fiber absorbs water, swelling into a highly viscous gel matrix coating the stomach's interior. Minutes later, arriving carbohydrates hit a structural roadblock. The incoming sugars become physically trapped within the interlocking mesh, slowly filtering through the barrier. This delayed gastric emptying is the exact mechanism behind the smoothed-out glucose curve in the Smith study. The gel creates a biological speed limit, pacing the rate at which sugar can reach the bloodstream. Simultaneously, the physical expansion of this fiber matrix stretches the stomach walls, triggering early neurological satiety signals that travel directly to the brain. The gel matrix operates as an automatic governor. It physically buffers glucose absorption, while leveraging these satiety signals to reduce the appetite, shifting the burden of management from willpower toward biology. The digestion sequence continues to yield returns as that undigested fiber exits the stomach and moves into the intestinal tract. Based on Tanaka's 2019 research, specialized gut bacteria dismantle and ferment these complex structures, releasing short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs. These SCFAs actively bind to cellular receptors, forcing the cell membrane to open and absorb circulating glucose, improving insulin sensitivity. We can trace this microscopic cellular action straight to long-term clinical outcomes, as demonstrated by a 2020 trial led by Yamada. Yamada's team monitored patients who consistently maintained this eating sequence. The data revealed major reductions in HbA1c, the standard marker for long-term blood sugar levels, proving especially effective for pre-diabetic populations. Consistent fiber sequencing buffers the immediate meal, while the resulting fatty acids actively re-engineer how cells process insulin over time. This transforms a temporary dietary habit into a permanent structural defense. Pulling this out of a clinical setting requires adapting the sequence to modern dining environments, where meals are rarely designed for metabolic optimization. Dining out introduces obvious friction, but you can seamlessly apply the strategy by front-loading your order. Start with a fiber-dense appetizer, like a side salad or a vegetable soup, before the main course arrives. You can amplify the biological buffer further by sequencing the remaining macros. Eat your protein and healthy fats directly after the fiber, leaving the carbohydrates for the final stage of the meal. The application varies by demographic. Youth and individuals prone to obesity can maximize the sequencing benefits by pairing it directly with cardiovascular exercise, accelerating the clearance of circulating glucose. For middle-aged and older adults, executing the fiber-first sequence serves as a daily biological shield. It directly targets the acute post-meal glucose peaks that drive age-related arterial damage and cardiovascular stress. The microbiome requires consistent time to adapt. Systemic cellular improvements compound slowly over weeks and months, meaning adherence is more important than immediate perfection. Defending against metabolic disease does not require cutting out every carbohydrate. By mastering the sequence of digestion, the exact same plate of food shifts from a metabolic stressor into a biological advantage.